Hey there, Shiny Acorns, and Backflash here, and welcome to my first vlog ever, and man, this one is going to be a doozy. All I have to say is this: depression really does suck the life out of you. First off, I want to apologize for the lack of videos that I've had lately. I've been dealing with a lot of personal issues that have eventually led to having crippling depression to the point where it became very closed off from a lot of people and started having suicidal thoughts. This all started a couple of months ago when I was fired from my full-time job due to no fault but my own, and it left me feeling pretty sorry for myself. I've been looking for work since to try to supplement my income, but I haven't had any luck. Adding to my financial stress, the stigma of now relying on social assistance to be able to support my family has also eroded any self-confidence and motivation to continue on. As I started to slip further and further into my depression, the negative thought patterns started coming back into my mind. Feelings of not being good enough, of not being well-liked, of making mistakes that I felt were unrecoverable, permeated my brain, and they eroded my confidence, my pride, and my happiness. As I started to spiral further and further into my depression, feelings of bitterness, envy, and jealousy started to seep further and further in, to the point that I became very angry with everybody else's happiness. And to further add, not only was I angry with everyone else around me because everybody else seemed to be doing better than I was, but I also became angry with myself. And all that anger and negativity can be very intoxicating. It can blind you into believing that everyone around you is selfish and that they're not going to be willing to help you. It can lead you to believe that you're not worthy of being loved or having friends or having good things in your life. And all that the negativity does is it just leads you down a spiraling path of self-loathing. And that's when I got to the point in my life where I thought, well, what's the point of all this? What's the point of even trying? What am I even doing here? Maybe I'm just a burden to everyone around me, and maybe it might just be better if I just simply disappear and be never seen by anyone again. And at that moment, I became suicidal. For a good week or two, I pretty much did next to nothing other than maybe grab some basic necessities, walk my dog just because he simply had to be walked. But the desire or the motivation to do anything else was pretty much gone. There was no point in trying to find work. There was no point in trying to do anything. I just simply existed. I was no longer living. And that's when I knew I needed help. Eventually, I came to the realization that I was tired of living like this. I was tired of feeling angry and sad and frustrated. So I had a choice. I could let the depression win. I could just simply roll over and give up. Or I could continue fighting and live another day. And at this point, I knew that I could not do this alone. So I reached out to my family and friends, and I talked to them about how I was feeling and what I was going through. And I'm glad I did. Many of my friends and family talked about their depression and offered support in any way that they could. My stepfather took me out for coffee and we had a really good talk and we bonded. One of my best friends came with me while I walked my dog and we had a really good talk, and she opened up about her suicidal depression. And even my ex and my kids opened up and said that I could. What I am happy to say now is that I'm in a much better place now. Because of my family and friends that helped me out along the way, it made me realize that I'm not alone, and it also made me realize that bottling in my feelings and holding it in only ends up hurting myself. So, that's my story about my depression. And I know this hasn't been the first time I've been depressed, and it certainly won't be the last. But one thing I'll always remember is that I'm not alone. And neither are you. If you're currently facing depression or you're facing suicide, what I would strongly recommend is talk about it. Reach out to the people that matter most. And if the first person you talk to doesn't seem to listen, reach out to somebody else. You may also need to speak to a professional who can help you along the way with therapy or with medication. But most importantly, don't give up. Talk to someone. Reach out. Express how you're feeling. People are not mind readers. And if you talk to people and tell them how you're feeling, it'll give them a better understanding how they can help you. So that's my story of depression. As I said, I'm very thankful for the people that have reached out to me. And if you are currently suffering depression, make sure you reach out to someone. And feel free to definitely leave a comment below this video and just to create the discussion. I'll also leave a link to the National Suicide Helpline and any other resources that may help. If you need to talk to somebody and you feel you don't have anybody to talk to, these are great resources to go through. So, thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, click that shiny like button down below. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click subscribe and join the Squirrel Army. And that is all for now, and until next time, stay shiny, soldiers.